I think you've heard about the idea of using affirmations. I mean, it's really all over the place right now, and everybody's using the idea and concept of affirmations for creating a better life and for creating a better mood and for attracting certain elements that we all would like to have in our lives. Don't get me wrong, affirmations are quite useful, but there are a few elements that you need to take into account when using or before using affirmations in a more profound manner. Hi, I'm Vlad from reikischool.com, and today we're going to talk about the power of affirmations, but mostly how and what to take into account when using affirmations, and why would they not work, and why would they sometimes can do more harm than good. So as much as it is a controversial subject, probably you've never heard about this, or not too often, that affirmations sometimes can do a little bit more harm than good. But there is one reason, and one alone, why affirmations could sometimes do more harm than good. Well, you see, affirmations work. They are amazing. I've used them, friends have used them, Reiki colleagues have used them, Reiki teachers that I know have used them and still use them. Many practitioners for different spiritual disciplines have used them and still use them, and they are amazing. We even had like yearly meetups for having affirmations for the next year. However, I would like to add one element that you should always take into account when using affirmations. And that is, you know that moment when maybe you don't have time to shower, but you still want to use perfume, and that will combine with the sweat and everything. Same happens here. If you use affirmations without cleansing or being in a balanced emotional state, or a healing process, a healing emotional state, an energetical healing state also. If you're going to use affirmations without taking care of those aspects, things are going to happen, and they're not going to be too nice. To be more precise, you're going to become frustrated. You're going to become unsatisfied. Something will be off, and you will wonder what's going on, because I'm using affirmations every day and they are beautiful and they do kind of work sometimes, but for some reason most of the times I'm feeling a bit angry. I feel animosity. I feel like I'm not tolerating myself even and other people. I feel I'm having a hard time implementing those actual elements of essence within affirmations. So what's happening? That's what's happening. And here comes Reiki. Reiki can help you, and it's not only Reiki, it's just the one that I'm proficient in and I know it helps. The self-treatment alone, the symbols, whatever it is from Reiki that you prefer, but usually the self-treatment is the essence of Reiki, and is the thing to go when it comes to healing. The self-treatment prepares the layout, the landing part for the plane to land safely and properly. If the landing runway is full of dirt and branches and mud, and it doesn't have the lights, the plane will definitely not land too safe, and things are going to happen there. The same happens with affirmations. You need to take into account the idea that I know maybe that you can't be all the time in a super good emotional state and be cleansed, and you don't have time for that. I get it. Life gets in the way, chores, responsibility, family, friends, we all have things to do. So it's easier to use affirmations, but it's a bit, I won't call it necessarily dangerous, but it won't be very healthy to use affirmations when you have a few things going on in your life that you have not taken care of, and they take a toll on you. It's not just that they happen and you are an observant person, and you are not affected. In case you are affected, in case you are, a bit going around the path that you should go on, and you feel frustrated, and you have anxiety sometimes, and you have maybe some anger issues sometimes, using affirmations won't help. They can do worse, because they can place that sudden positive vibe on something already negative, and instead of healing it, it's like creating an explosion. And that's when some of them, maybe 10% of them might work, and they can the point of affirmations, I think we all know, is to rewire the brain. Rewiring the brain and leading to a subconscious pattern that will bring the conscious, that will manifest in the conscious part. So when you're using affirmations the way I presented, you are not exactly bypassing the conscious and creating a pattern in the subconscious, because the subconscious is already filled with a lot of negativity and a lot of things that need to be healed. And they are flowing between the subconscious and conscious, and forget about it, it's just a mess there. And using affirmations will not really help the situation. So it's not fighting fire with fire or water with fire. There is no fighting here. If you're using affirmations when you're not taking care of those parts that really need your attention for healing, it is a fighting mood. It is a conflict within you. And there needs to be no conflict, as close to zero as possible when using affirmations. Because affirmations need to be placed in a state of as much peace as possible, as much harmony as possible. I know we don't always have it, but if you're walking down the street and you're feeling frustrated about certain things, try to use, as you are walking, something from Reiki or whatever practice it is that you prefer, be it meditation, Theta Healing, Qigong, Reiki. When it's about Reiki symbols are very good. Visualizing the universal force energy flow, bringing forth your spirit guides or angels or archangels that you have access to help you support and heal you. Removing those programs, negative programs, dissolving them, transforming them into universal energy, dissolving the negative information, to be more precise, and transforming the energy from negative to positive. Then use the affirmations. See how that works. See the difference. Affirmations can be, there are thousands of affirmations. I'm not going to give examples. Depends what you want to achieve and what you want to do, because you can search upon the internet and you will find literally hundreds and thousands of types of affirmation, from activating chakras to attracting abundance and love and whatever it is. And if there's a blockage there, maybe you are in a good emotional mood, maybe you are in a good mental mood, but there's a blockage there on a spiritual energetic level that needs to be unblocked. First, understanding why the blockage exists, what you need to learn, and how to heal it. Affirmations won't really help also in this way, in this example as well. They will not be with zero effect, but the effect will be too small compared to first taking care of that blockage, healing that part, and then using affirmations. You exponentially they will exponentially function more clearly and more effective, the affirmations I mean, when you take care of those parts. And especially as the first example I gave with feeling stressed and emotionally fatigued or anxious. Take a step back, breathe, visualize the universal force energy flow. Even if you don't have time for a self-treatment, see where the problem is coming from. Try to identify the source. Try to understand what was that blockage, or why was I thinking this way? What do I truly desire? What's wrong? And what frustrates me? Or what's happening? What is the element that really doesn't fit within my life right now that creates that mood that can compromise the effect of affirmations? Right? Take care of, at least acknowledge that. At least do that. Know exactly, okay, I know that. I'm okay. Even the acknowledgement, the root cause, and be honest with yourself, because that's, the first person, the first spirit that you need to be honest with you, and that's yourself. Even if you're not honest with others, I suggest you be as honest as possible with others within the confines of common sense. Take that into account. But with yourself, you can be as free and as honest as possible. Even that acknowledgement of being honest with yourself already has done maybe not 50% of the healing, but 30-40% of the healing is kind of done, because you understand it and you already breathe. You understand, okay, I have that, so what? Can I go over it? Sure. Can I use Reiki or whatever I want to use to dissolve it, to heal it? Sure. Let's start a little bit with that, even if it takes 5 minutes more and 10 minutes more, and then, okay, let's use affirmations then. You will notice that they function a lot more efficient. Before we continue, I want to drop a quick reminder for those of you who have already learned the basics of Reiki symbols and feel ready to explore more. You've worked with and integrated the energy and information of Chokurei, Seihiki, and Honshatsu Shonen, and you feel the pull to expand your knowledge. But you also don't want to get lost in research and waste time assembling notes. When my curiosity was knocking on the door, I took the time to study and collect information from everywhere I went. There weren't many resources online, so I had to listen to my teachers, read books, and put together all sorts of messy inscriptions. Of course, it took forever, but that work eventually became the ultimate Reiki symbols guide. A practical resource with 65 Reiki symbols, their meanings, uses, and how to integrate them into your practice with clarity and purpose. It's not just a guide for expanding your knowledge on Reiki symbols, but a journey into the vast and exciting world of energy healing. So, if you're ready to take your relationship with Reiki symbols to the next level, grab the digital copy on Reiki Scoop or the physical book on Amazon. Now, let's return to the video. Why am I explaining all this? Because I've tried it. I've tried it in both ways, in all the ways. I tried it when being emotionally stable but having some blockages, and what's going on? Why they don't work? Well, because you need to take care of those blockages. Simply using affirmations, and probably you're wondering, and I have not explained that, it's my bad. Simply using affirmations won't exactly break certain blockages. They can help you find ways. But just using the affirmations, they are not meant for that. They are meant for placing you in the right frequency of achieving something. The way you achieve that something can be through other methods. So, if I want abundance, we all want that, right? There's so many affirmations regarding that. It's like everywhere you can find that. We need to see why. Of course, you are here probably because you see that affirmations don't work, or they don't work the way you want them to work. So you want affirmations for abundance to work, and then you realize they don't work. But how am I feeling with that? What is my relationship with the essence and energy of my, because money is energy and information, no doubts about that. It's a neutral one. You use it up and down as you want. It's a neutral one. What's my connection with that energy? Do I have respect for it? Or do I just don't care about it? I spend it like crazy, I don't even care. Do I spend it on the right things? Do I have a blockage there? Maybe a karmic blockage that I need to heal? Do I need to be more generous sometimes? Maybe I'm stingy. Or maybe I'm too generous and I need to be more balanced. There are many questions here that you need to answer. Or maybe I'm using it in the wrong direction. The money I'm spending, I'm using it in the wrong direction. And that's affecting my flow of abundance. Okay, abundance is not just about money, I know. I'm just giving the financial part because we're all are interested in that example. Take that into account. And then use the right affirmations for you that you resonate with for abundance. And what's going to happen is that when you're a bit more at peace and you have identified the root situation and you have worked a little bit with it, be it with Reiki, meditation, or any other practice, that's when you can use affirmations. Sure, I'm abundant, but be more specific. I am financially abundant and I have the best job for me and for my life, or the best business, and I earn whatever it is that you feel. Be a bit realistic here. Don't try to have $1 trillion. Come on. Try to be a bit more realistic, because you want all your body, not just your mind, to function in the correct frequency, aligned with something that's touchable for you now. And start with small. Start with, I earn per month whatever you believe it's optimal for you, which is a bit more than you're earning right now. But don't make a huge gap between what you're earning right now and what you really would want to learn. Just take it step by step. Reach that point first. Take it step by step. And each month or each year, I earn this amount of money. And I'm happy, and I spend it in the best way and healthy way possible for me and for my life. Try to use that. And this can apply for anything. I'm learning the best optimum Reiki systems for me, and I'm using that universal energy flow for my good on all levels and for the greater good of others that need this universal energy flow that come around me, that arrive around me. You can use it for many things. I'm just giving these some examples, but you can shape it as you please with these affirmations, because there are affirmations for everything. I know there are for these kind of things for the material parts, but you need to take in account the spiritual parts as well. So for attracting spiritual elements as well, because those spiritual elements will help you heal. Having the right Reiki systems, maybe you will get an opportunity to be attuned to Karuna Reiki, Holy Fire Reiki, Shambhala Reiki, whatever it is. And those systems will help you remove blockages that can render affirmations to be more efficient. Think about that. Again, this is not about Reiki necessarily. I'm just proficient in that, and it's the easiest example or the most closest example for me, but that can be for you. Maybe you are a Tai Chi practitioner and you learn new forms, or you learn new things in Qigong, whatever it is. It was just an example. Or meditations or Tantra, whatever it is. And that's the point. That's why it's not exactly that they're dangerous, but they will create even more. Sometimes they can create even more filth, in a sense of pollution within mind and emotions, because they render you frustrated if you don't achieve them. And it's like placing sudden amount of beneficial energy on a negative one, and you create a muddy sandwich there. You want first to clean what's under clean the rug, not place the dirt under the rug. You want to, to vacuum everything, hoover everything, and then mop and be sure everything is clean, so everything smells nice and is clean. You don't put the filth under the rug and then mop and pretend it's clean. It's the same thing that I'm trying to explain to you. You need to be cleansed. You need to be at peace. Do your best, just a little bit. First, acknowledge the root cause. And even if it's vague, you're on the right path, because there's something that you will find eventually. You will understand. Again, be honest. That's the source of all things. Be honest and clear with yourself. If you're not with others, at least be with yourself. And you will be with others at one point if you are with yourself, believe me. Eventually, you will start being more clear with others. Being honest with yourself is also a sign of self-confidence. And from that point on, you realize, okay, maybe I have this problem with me, and maybe I have a problem with X, Y, Z. And you feel more open to tell them in a nice way. You should tell them, I have this problem with you because I think that you should be more nicer regarding this aspect. And that's when you speak out a little bit of your mind, but in a harmonious way again, and blockages are released. Those bubbles, those negative bubbles begin to burst. And they have room for light. Not only that, when you start working with yourself, with the Reiki self-treatment or meditations, whatever it is that you resonate with, or sending universal energy distance healing for yourself or for others, you start channeling more universal energy, which means more healing, which means a higher vibration, and a more abundant flow of universal energy, less stress, more emotional healing, more awareness, more mental health, spiritual health. Your soul is healthy, your spirit is healthy, your mind is healthy. The three centers of power, not the chakras. These are the mind, the soul, and the spirit. So you are working and you're coming from a place of healing and development. And if you are in this process, sure, use affirmations. They will work a lot better than if you would not be on this road. So take that into account. I'm all for affirmations. Don't get me wrong. I hope these messages would be clear. I do respect them. I have used them a lot, and I will use them again. I just noticed I've used them when I was emotionally stable and I had blockages, and they didn't work because I was not healing the block. I was not acknowledging the source of the problem and then heal it. And I used affirmations when I was frustrated and I was maybe creating blockages by myself because of self-sabotage. Sometimes we all have it. And I've been using affirmations when I was in a state of peace. And let me tell you, nothing compares to that moment. Using affirmations as a supplement is like a supplement. Like you take vitamins, you're not replacing food, you're taking a supplement, minerals and vitamins, or proteins, whatever you like, for accompanying the main meals. But the main meal is the cleansing and harmony and understanding the root causes of your whatever it is imbalances. So let the universal energy flow. Be honest with yourself. Find the root causes and then use affirmations. and you can use them while you're in the process of healing. Nobody is 100% healed. You cannot wait for that percentage to happen. That's okay. But if you're in the process of healing, yeah, you can start using them. You'll notice the difference. This is just an advice. If you don't believe, you can experiment by yourself. This is just from my own experience, and I tried all 3 ways that I just mentioned. And I'm not the only one who has tried those versions, believe me. And those affirmations work best when you are in the process of healing and understanding yourself. So if you enjoyed this video, consider giving a thumbs up, subscribing so that other Reiki enthusiasts can find content just like this. And if you made it until the end of this video, I am grateful. Thank you. Blessings to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Before you go, there's one last thing I want to share to support your Reiki journey. If you ever sat down and wondered, am I even doing this right? This message is for you. Maybe you've learned the techniques, went through a formal attunement, but still struggling with doubt when it's just you. You wonder if you're actually feeling the energy flowing, or it's just imagination. Therefore, you second guess each step instead of letting the practice unfold naturally. The more you let self-doubt intervene, the less effective your practice becomes. That's why I created the 21 Reiki Challenge, a free program where we get to practice Reiki together for 21 days. Over 2,000 Reiki enthusiasts took on the challenge to rebuild their habit, trust their intuition, and themselves. If you're ready to let go of doubt and return to the simplicity of Reiki, click the link in the description below, sign up, and let's practice Reiki together. Join the 21 Reiki Challenge to bring back your confidence one session at a time.